I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fam's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was taught with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena Horne. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, I'll cast it like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rock Index University main man, Uncle Freezy. Shout out to all my people watching this live on YouTube as I as I prepare this segment of Blowing's Tears to upload to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and other fine places that you listen to audio podcasts. And as I prepared to do this, I had a script. I had been working on the script all morning because we had done so many live streams over the past few days. I just wanted to kind of get it into a bag a little bit, where I can just kind of connect with you guys on a joint about a topic, right? Just a topic for me. Just a topic for me to talk to y'all about, because for, like I mentioned, the past few days, it has been all about, you know what I'm saying, everybody getting their chance to rock the mic. You know, we doo-wopping, people coming in and out, saying what they have to say about whatever topic they feel comfortable or whatever topic they wanted to chop it up about. But I wanted to talk to y'all about one that nobody's really talking about, and I'm hoping it stays that way. I'm hoping, you know, I introduce this topic, and this will be my topic during the summer. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure others will kind of, but you know, it's the end of May. You know, the Memorial holiday is over. The NBA finals are set. The draft is in about 3+ weeks. So a lot of stuff to kind of talk about, but I want to talk to you guys about summertime. Right? I want to talk to you guys about summertime. Okay. So here goes. The summertime is not just a place where you can just be angry and pout about what you didn't do correctly during the regular season. Right? The summertime is not the loser's parking lot, basically. The summertime is not just the place for fans to dream up scenarios about how to improve their team and how the Knicks specifically the Knicks can put together a super team. The summertime for most NBA teams and players is a time for improvement, right? So improvement in a sense that it's the time, give you an example, it's the time for Mitchell Robinson to work on his free throws. The summertime is the time for RJ Barrett to work on his handles. The summertime is the time for Julius Randle to get healthy and work on his conditioning. Right? These are when decisions, big decisions are made. Which Julius Randle do we prefer? Do we prefer Julius Randle at 240 that's dunking on Jason Tatum and others? Or do we prefer Julius Randle at 255, the guy that can take a pounding and is a rebound machine? Well, these things are worked out during the summertime, right? And I know I gave you options just there, right? Options are not always good, right? You know, options lead to decisions. Decisions lead to thinking. Thinking leads to research. And before you know it, instead of a simple question like, what do you want, paper or plastic? Now you're thinking about how to save the environment. Right? And I know that's a stretch, but I'm going somewhere with it. I want you guys to ride with me on this one, right? So off the rip, what I want to talk to y'all about is the summertime being the time for skill development, right? Summer workouts provide NBA players with an opportunity to focus on specific aspects of their game and improve their skills. They can work on shooting, ball handling, footwork, strength, conditioning, and other areas that need refinement. By dedicating time to the individual development, players can enhance their performance and expand their overall skill set by the time the season starts. Right? So you get in this place where, for instance, Julius Randle thinks he's a shooter. Right? Julius Randle thinks he's a 3-point shooter. Is that accurate? Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. But the summertime is the time for Randle to work on that skill and develop it. See, because a 40% three-point shooting Randle is a weapon. Right? So Randle shooting 40% from three should be a goal for Randle this upcoming season. Not during the regular season. See, you don't want Julius Randle working on his three-point shooting during the regular season. Right? It disrupts chemistry. It disrupts the flow of the offense. Right? Does a lot of things. Julius Randle and others should be working on these things during the summertime. The three-point shooting. Julius Randle shot 34.3% from three this season on high volume. And the reason why he shot that percentage on high volume is because others on the team did not shoot threes in high volume. And if you remember correctly, just 2 seasons ago, our high volume 3-point shooter was Evan Fournier. Right? This season, our high volume 3-point shooter was Julius Randle. Now, whether you prefer Randall shooting threes or not, it was a fact. We can't change it. You can't rewrite history. But if you prefer another guy be that high volume 3-point shooter, they should be working on that skill as we speak. And it doesn't just necessarily mean, 1,500 jump shots a day in an open gym, right? It doesn't necessarily just mean that. You have to have a jump shooter's body, so to speak. Right? You have to have a jump shooter's body. Like you generally don't see guys 250, 255, 260, 270, 275, 280 being jump shooters. See how I put the emphasis on heavy guys being jump shooters? If there are guys on the roster that you want to take that mantle, like the RJ Barretts of the world, then what we should be doing is working on those skills during the off season, during the summertime. And I used I used Mitchell Robinson during the thumbnail. I was actually trolling y'all because I know sometimes in the chat, you know, everybody's the expert and all that stuff. So I put Mitchell Robinson as the thumbnail doing a crossover. Of course, we don't want Mitch doing crossovers, right? We don't want Mitch dribbling not like that, right? But during this time, we would like for Mitchell Robinson to work on minor details in his big man offense, like developing a jump hook or something like that. Mitchell Robinson developing a floater. Now's the time. Now's the time for a Knicks team that was full of non-shooters to work on shooting, right? A team full of non-playmakers to work on their ball handling and footwork. For the guys that are working on playing multiple roles and positions to work on their strength and conditioning. Right? To be impactful in the NBA, you have to have a certain NBA skill. In order to be a productive NBA player, you have to be great at least one thing to even stay in the league, in my opinion. Right? And I know the easy answer. I've had all the conversations. I've done the live streams and people talk me to death and try to convince me about a bunch of different things. And what I'm going to say to them is this: if you can improve internally, you may not have to improve externally. That's what I want to say to them. If you can improve internally, you may not have to improve externally. And I know that's wishing on a star, right? But here's the thing about that. If the guys that you have that have flaws can't improve internally, like the guys that are already here, if they've already hit their ceiling and they're too flawed for you to play them, get them out of here. That makes sense, right? If you've had guys here, they've been here 2, 3, 4, 5, going into their 6th season, and they hadn't changed or developed a certain thing, then why are they still here? You want them in those summertime workouts. You need them in those summertime workouts. Because improvement is not linear. Improvement is not linear. So you want Mitchell Robinson to continue to work on his free throws, continue catching the ball in traffic. You want Mitch to continue expanding his offensive game, his defensive game, his conditioning, his strength, all of those things. His pliability, his malleability, all of those things. You need Mitch to be that. But Mitch is not the only guy on this roster that needs offensive or offseason improvement. Your RJ Barretts need offseason improvement. RJ Barrett has to finish better at the rim. RJ Barrett has to be a better playmaker. RJ Barrett has to be more crafty with his handle. I think RJ Barrett's dribbling is fine for a guy that plays his position. But the ball handling, the entire ball handling thing, changing directions, retreat dribble, euros, explosion, verticality, all those things. RJ needs to work on those things. Just standing in place, just dribbling the basketball, that's cool, right? But what NBA player dribbles in place for large periods of time? They don't. You got to be able to move with that basketball, be able to handle that basketball in and around traffic. Right? RJ, you got to be able to pass that basketball with either hand. Now is the time for you to work on it. RJ's going into his 5th NBA season. His extension is kicking in for next season. And quite frankly, after 4 seasons, the whole RJ Barrett was selected such and such in a draft angle is not applicable anymore. For Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickly, the whole they were drafted 3 years ago thing is not applicable anymore. Right? RJ, Obi, Mitch, IQ, they're out of that gestation stage. Right? Grimes is still in that gestation stage. Sims is still in that gestation stage. Deuce McBride is still in that stage. But guess what, young fellas? Guess what? Right? Guess what? It'll be over before you know it, and then the real pressure is on. And improvement during the summertime doesn't just apply to young guys. It also applies to coaches. Maybe your system needs to be modernized, right? Not asking you to be something different than what you are, but maybe you can recognize the sign of the times and adjust to the times. That was for Tibbs. Right? Maybe you can recognize the sign of the times and adjust yourself accordingly. The coaching staffs have busy jobs. They're scouting um free agents, they're scouting draft picks, they're scouting their own players to see where their improvements can go. Like how can we improve RJ's game, right? If you're a coach, you're thinking, is RJ Barrett's offensive issue a skill issue or is it a physical issue? Right? Is RJ Barrett in shape? The physical conditioning part is very important. Right? The physical conditioning part. The NBA season is demanding and physically grueling. Summer workouts allows players to maintain and enhance the physical conditioning during the offseason. They can work on building strength and improving endurance. Staying in peak condition, which helps prevent injuries and ensures that they are ready for the upcoming season. For some players may need to get stronger, and that may lead to them getting heavier. Not very much heavier, but maybe going from 187 to 193. Maybe going from 217 to 225 based on role. What's your role? Do you need to get bigger, stronger, faster? Do you need to slim down? Do you need to trim? Do you need to slim down some? And if you're RJ Barrett in RJ Barrett's case, do you need to slim down in order to get that explosion that you require that fits your game? Or do you need to be bulkier so that you can get the best out of your game? I'm not for sure. I'll let you guys decide on that. But what I will say is if RJ Barrett is dissatisfied with how his season ended, if the Knicks franchise are dissatisfied with RJ or Grimes or Quickly or Obi, I'm sure we'll never know, which is a good thing. Some things need to stay in-house for the sake of chemistry, right? But at the same time, I think they should address it. I think they will address it. They probably have addressed it so that these guys can come back in just like the franchise wants them, and at the same time offer RJ and all the other guys resources to help them become the player that the franchise wants them to be by following a certain regimen during the summertime. So when training camp comes, these players will be exactly what the coach wants them to be. Should Mitchell Robinson put on weight? Should Mitchell Robinson get smaller? I'm not sure. Right? I'm not sure. Should Randall drop a few pounds so that he could be more agile, more quick twitch? Or should he come back in at that 250, 255 range where he could be more durable, more beastly, more brute? I guess it's ultimately up to what Tom Thibodeau wants for his offense and defense. The summertime is also a time for team chemistry and bonding. And y'all already know how this goes. Players often use the offseason to train together and build chemistry with their teammates and other cats around the NBA. They can participate in group workouts, practice drills, and scrimmages, fostering better communication and understanding and cohesion on the court. This camaraderie developed during summer workouts can translate into improved teamwork during the season. And the reason why you do this is because now that you have a mental Rolodex full of information on how the NBA guarded you or didn't guard you, going into the offseason, now you can develop chemistry with one of your teammates. Obi and Emmanuel quickly come to mind immediately. Right? And while you can't have organized team activities, you can work out together. You can't have team sponsored activities during the summertime, all that stuff. We know that. But say Obi, Tyrese Maxey, Kevin Knox, Emmanuel Quickly, what's the other guy? Hamidou Diallo. It's a bunch of cats. I think it's like a bunch of Kentucky cats and Obi can play together and work on stuff. And basically what you do is forge chemistry. You forge chemistry and things of that sort where it's difficult doing it in an organized team setting. One of the most important things that I feel like one of the more important things of the offseason is the confidence and mental preparation. Right? Summer workouts contribute to the mental aspect of the game. Players can work on their mental toughness, focus, and confidence, which are vital attributes in high-pressure NBA situations. The offseason allows players to reset mentally, away from coaches and all that stuff, away from the game and all that stuff, away from the crowds and all that stuff, and develop a mindset geared towards success in the upcoming season. I think that's crucially important. You get to reset yourself mentally, right? In a way, every NBA player wants to play all the way into June. The unfortunate part is only about 30 players get to play into June. So if your season is over, this is the time for you to go to Cancun. That's my joke. I saw the meme. Of LeBron and them in the huddle in a blowout loss, and everybody had their hands raised like 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Right. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Well, Cancun is a necessary part of it. You can't spend 360 days in the gym because your mental never gets recharged. Your mental just you never give your mental enough time to recharge. And being mentally sharp going into the season is important. And you get to drop off the mental baggage from the season. The mental baggage part is very important. You get to drop that off, reset, spend some time in places you otherwise wouldn't have to, places that you otherwise would not have had time to spend time at during the season. And recharge batteries. Once you recharge those batteries, you can come back and do your individualized workouts, man. Because during the regular season, players have limited time for individual attention due to the busy schedule and team obligations. Summer workouts provide an opportunity for players to work closely with their skill trainers, with their coaches, and with specialized staff to address specific areas of improvement. They can receive personalized feedback and guidance and tailored training programs to maximize their potential. One of these things that we'll talk about is Mitchell Robinson's free throws. Mitch can legit dedicate how many ever hours in a week to just focusing on free throws. Julius Randle can get specialized training in certain things like handling the basketball in traffic. Julius Randle can work on certain things specifically like not being dubious handles, right? And like B-ball for it, working on passing, working on sharper IQ, things like that. You work on that in the off season. These are you don't have time during the man. Listen, you show up at the arena, you go get your physical treatment, you get some shots up, you play the game, you get back in the ice tub. Man, listen, you get something to eat, you go home, you get some rest, you wake up, you go to the gym. It's a daily operation. It's a daily operation. Here's another thing too. The off season is your time for adaptation and innovation. The NBA is an ever evolving league with new strategies, techniques, and innovations. Summer workouts allow players to adapt to the changes in the game and experiment with new skills and playing styles. They can study film, analyze trends, and work on incorporating new moves or approaches in their game, right? That's for like the cats like Obi, right? That's for cats like Obi. Like Obi went away one summer, came back a 3-point shooter. Obi went away one summer, came back, he's a 3-point shooter. The summer is time for you to add little things to your game, little shiftiness, little wiggle, right? And if you're RJ, you're adding a back to the basket post up move, so teams can't always defend you. Mitch, this is time for you to add a jump hook. Hartenstein, this is time for you to add a handle. Grimes, this is time for you to add dribbling and playmaking to your bag. And I'm not criticizing players. I'm pointing out that now is the time for you to add new things to your bag. And like I mentioned before, this is the time for recovery and rehabilitation. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Time for you to rest, recover from injuries, and things of that sort, right? For players recovering from injuries, the offseason is crucial for rehabilitation and regaining their physical capabilities. Summer workouts provide an extended period for players to focus on rehab exercises, strengthening weakened areas, and gradually returning to form without the pressure of a game being the next day, right? It makes sense. Overall, the summer workouts are instrumental in player development, physical conditioning, and team chemistry. You got to use the summertime to get better. You got to use the summertime to get better organically, right? Because improvement can't be the front office's job all the time. If a guy can't shoot, you can't just say, well, the front office needs to go get a shooter. If your center has no offense, the answer to that can't always be, well, the front office needs to go get Karl Anthony Towns. Sometimes internal improvement is what you really need. And I'm here for it. I think our squad needs to work on internal improvement on some things. And listen, there are going to be some hard things to work on. Like some guys are going to be like, man, I feel like my mid-range game is fine. No, it's not. No, it's not. You can't always blame the coach. Well, coach won't let me go baseline in these sets. Well, don't go baseline in these sets. Right? We can't always blame the coach in the front office. Right? The players are just as culpable as everyone else. The front office can't wave a magic wand every time something goes wrong. The players have to use this time right here to shore up their weaknesses, right? Build up their strengths. And I think the Knicks will be fine. I think the Knicks will be fine if we just step away a little bit, take a deep breath, get some rest, recover from injuries, get back in the lab, work on our strengths and weaknesses, emphasis on shoring up the weaknesses, come back a better player than we were before the summer started. All right. Thank y'all for rocking with me for this little bit, man. Again, it's the number one Chief Rockin' Knicks Universe, your main man, Uncle Freezy. Let me shout out some of the people in the chat. I want to shout out some of the people that's in our chat, man. So if you're listening to this again, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, thank you. Spotify, thank you. Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon, thank y'all for tuning in and listening. But I got to shout out my people that's in the building. You know what I'm saying? That support regardless. So Kerry Cox is in the house. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox. Big Corey Lee is in the house. B-Baller for real is in the house. The YouTube sensation, the Smoking Nick, is in the house. Harlem CEO is in the house. I see y'all. Adam is in the house. Okay. All right. Otherwise is in the house. Daniel Berry is in the house. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights is in the building. Okay. I see y'all. G. Robinson, my man, is in the house. I see you. Andrew College is in the house. I see you. Boulevard 73, rocking Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. The 718 boys is in the house. I see y'all. Brian Townsend is in the house. BT, are you with me? Is in the house. Okay. I see Brooklyn Buddha is in the building. I see Brooklyn Buddha. Whenever you want it on that 2K, let me know. Brooklyn Buddha, whenever you want it on that 2K, you let me know. Keyshawn is in the house. Okay. Hinton Murphy is in the house. Okay, Hinton. I see you out here. Jay King is in the house. All right. King Ribby is in the house. All right. C-Mac, the fly god himself, is in the house. Okay. Ed Winning is in the building. Danny Landis is in the building. Okay. All right. I see y'all. B-Baller for real. Okay. All right. Aunt T is in the house. Chef NYK is in the house. Pierre Moise is in the house. J Boogie, the closer, is in the house. Make sure y'all check out J Boogie on all streaming platforms. J Boogie got a bunch of music out there, man. Make sure y'all support J Boogie. And when y'all search, that's J-Boogie. Search J-Boogie. It's a lot of pretenders out there. There's a lot of pretenders. J Boogie is the contender. Right? Ashley Inc. Wiz is in the house. Right? So thank you for everybody that's listening to this on the audio podcast. Thank you for all the members of the channel that continue to support Knicks content. Right? Thank you for everybody that's rocking with me, man. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.